This is progress meeting number 5 for the Donovan Smith Mobile Home Park Sewer and Water Extension project. It's July 5th, 2023. Contract amount is $4,446,446. Contract time is 630 calendar days. Liquidated damages are $1,500 per calendar day. Notice to proceed was February 16th, 2023. That puts the contract completion date at November 7th, 2024. 138 days have been used. 492 days are remaining. That puts us at 22% time used, and from my calculations up to through the end of June, we're around 15% of the work complete. So as you can see, they are catching up pretty quick. Schedule: Teal Construction has submitted a progress schedule and bar chart form that tracks major cost items. Sharon, I'll get that to you. You can put that on the website. I didn't print it. It's hard to read on paper, but that'll be there. Like I said, it is really only major cost items. So this is just a long stretch of they're doing sewer work because that's what they're doing. They're just working on sewer. But Johnny is going to kind of give us a monthly outlook at each progress meeting. Johnny, if you want to kind of go over what you're doing this month.
Yeah, so right now we're on Cooper Circle, finishing up sewer laterals. From there, we'll have a crew that will come in and start to do well pointing inside Donovan's mobile home park. What's that main road? Central?
Drive.
Yep. So they'll start there doing the well point on that main road. That'll take a couple weeks. And then we're kicking around the idea of possibly coming back and doing the water on Cooper Circle. But that's still to be determined. That's probably gonna be your next month. Once the well pointing is done and the water has been lowered enough where we can dig, we'll be back to the sewer starting on the Central Ave.
Yep. So, and then of course with the well pointing, once again, that's going to be pretty non-disruptive, except they're going to have a pump that's got to run 24 hours to actually dewater the trench. The pumps aren't super loud, but they do make noise. If you remember the Donovan's Road job, there was one out there, probably be similar to that.
I have no idea where they're gonna put the outflow.
Well, the outflow goes towards what's it?
Ebenezer Branch. Yep.
Ebenezer Branch. I don't know that we decided exactly where we're going to put the pump yet. Once the well pointing crew gets on site, we'll determine that.
Yep. All right. Johnny went over next month's work.
Okay.
And then the work since the previous meeting, the water main installation is complete on Donovan's Road. The permanent trench repair on Donovan's Road is complete. The sanitary sewer main installation on Cooper Circle is complete, and they're working on laterals on Cooper Circle right now. SRF funding: the first wage rate interviews will take place today. Dean Culver will perform the wage rate interviews. Payment application 1 has been received by GMB and paid by the Lewes Board of Public Works. Draft of payment application 2 has been received and reviewed by GMB. GMB is waiting for paper copies for approval, and then Austin, I'll get you that once I've received that. And then we're working on quantities for pay application number 3 now, and then hopefully we'll be caught up on those, and they'll just be hitting us every month from then on out. DelDOT items: DelDOT pre-construction meeting. DelDOT pre-construction meeting was held on March 15th at the project site. Traffic control: contractor shall be responsible for traffic control during the course of the project and shall coordinate with the owner, engineer, and regulating authority as required. All traffic control flaggers are to be certified. Vehicular access must be provided at all times to all residences and pedestrians who are not within the hard closure work area. Access for emergency vehicles and special needs residents must be maintained at all times. Contractors to coordinate with delivery trucks for businesses located in the work area. Maintenance of traffic: proposed maintenance of traffic consists of lane closures with flaggers, compaction testing to be performed where directed by GMB, and then DelDOT requires 1 test lift per 100 feet of trench. Utility trench restoration, Del Dot and Teal Construction have agreed to a modified policy concerning the temporary trench restoration. The temporary trench restoration may remain in place on Donovan's Road until the contractor is ready to install the specified permanent trench repair. If Del Dot deems that the trench repair is deficient anytime after the first 4 days, and they reserve the right to require the contractor to stop work and install the specified permanent trench repair. Johnny, has Corey had any issues with the deep lift?
Yeah, he's got about 53 feet that he met with Wayne, I think it was this morning. 53.5 feet that he's gonna want taken out, redone, just that for
Completely, or the whole?
all.
For what reason?
I'll let Dwayne talk more about it. I wasn't really in the meeting, but I guess there was mud coming up through and it was pumping pretty good.
The mud pumped up through the blacktop as they're putting down, trucks were getting stuck. So we got to regroup how we were going to install it, and that worked. But he wants that 53 feet, 6 inches completely removed, milled out and replaced.
He wants 6 inches or 14 inches?
14 inches.
14. You know, it's not his.
Dumb question. No issues on the other side?
No.
He confirmed that?
No, we are gonna have to pay that whole chunk though.
You're gonna pave the whole road.
Yeah. Not on the other side of the bike trail. But the whole road. He made that clear from the beginning at the pre-construction meeting.
Why? Is there any disturbance on that side of the road?
There's drugs,
But it was,
just driving in and out.
we can have it, we'll talk about that on Friday.
You meeting with Del Dot?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was in the base bid.
I
All
know-
that
I
paving
know
is,
it's-
yeah,
But
yeah,
there's 14 inches of asphalt.
yeah.
and Nothing was touched.
Yep, I'm with you.
They're worried about the road being scratched by machinery, and when they were,
Is it actually scratched?
well, when we changed how we were installing the deep lift, yes, it got scratched. Is there big gouges in it? Nah, not so much, but yes, it got scratched.
Is it like mill and overlay? Are we
Yes,
talking like-
yes, no, it's just a 2-inch
Oh,
mill overlay.
yeah, no, yeah, the whole top's just getting milled and overlaid. We're not redoing any trench repair over there. Yep. Yep. All right, contractor shall contact Miss Utility in the Lewes BPW 48 hours in advance of any excavations. Notification of residents, GMB will coordinate with Teal Construction, notify residents a minimum of 1 week in advance of any work being performed on their homes. I know over the last couple weeks, you may have had some brief service interruptions. None of that was planned. The location of the existing utilities in the park is not, they're not well known. So as we get digging, you know, they've been pretty good about identifying stuff prior to running into it, but it's not always going to be the case. I know one of the water lines got pulled up probably 2 weeks ago. And I know they had to repair it again last week. There's no health concerns to any of that, just be continually aware that you could have a brief service interruption. And I think anytime it's been interrupted, they've been up pretty quick.
And it wasn't the contractor's fault.
Yes.
They did not dig through the line. There's actually trees that are buried in the trench, and they pulled the tree out, and that pulled the line apart at a fitting. So that's why, they didn't dig through it and caused the problem.
Yep.
It's a prior tree that was in the ditch that caused the problem.
You'll remember a lot more than.
Thank you. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you will.
Yep. So thanks for being understanding of anything like that. Try to avoid it when we can, but it's not always going to be unavoidable. Communication with residents, media, et cetera. The contractors to direct all complaints, questions, et cetera, to the GMB RPR. Once again, bring up any issues you have immediately to Dwayne. Dwayne has requested just pass the word around. If you see Dwayne knocking on your door or anyone's door, he's probably there to help you out, try to let you know that someone, they're gonna be working near your house or near your car, or he might need you to move a car. He's had some instances where he's not had homeowners respond to him. So just encourage your neighbors to be proactive with Dwayne as he's proactive with them. That'll go a long way to, we don't want to get someone's car stuck where it is because no one answered the door or something like that. Requests for information, all RFIs are to be submitted in writing to GMB, attention to me. Safety is the sole responsibility of the contractor. The contractor shall abide by all local, federal, and state safety regulations, including OSHA. The contractor shall be solely responsible for initiating, formulating, supervising, reviewing, and overseeing all safety precautions, practices, procedures, and programs that are or should be provided in connection with the work. The contractor will take all necessary or proper precautions for the safety of and will provide the necessary protection to prevent damage, injury, or loss to the work, property, and or persons. The contractor shall comply within the prices bid and without extra cost to the owner with all safety regulations or determinations issued by an agency of the federal government, including OSHA and the state of Delaware. Submittals, GMB has reviewed all submittals they have received except for the Storm Tech unit submittal. Teal has submitted the paper copies of the submittals to GMB. Teal Construction is to provide AIS certification for all materials that are required to comply with AIS requirements. GMB will notify Teal Construction of any submittals that are outstanding. The contractor is responsible for survey and layout / stakeout. Cut sheets are to be provided at least 24 hours in advance of installation. I think, Johnny, we're good on all the sewer cut sheets. Yep. Job site conditions, resident complaints, etc. No major complaints I've received. That means hopefully they've either been handled before they got too big or they've not gotten to me. Inspector hours used. So we had 3,500 total for the job. The amount since last meeting, 154 hours. Amount to date, 232. That leaves 3,268 hours. Weather delays, we've had 2 since the last meeting and 2 days total due to weather. Trench backfill, the contractor is requested to maximize the reuse of excavated material as much as possible. An area has been provided for stockpiling material excavated from the trenching so that it can be utilized as backfill. GMB will assess the suitability of the excavated material for use as backfill. Status of contingency items. Some contingency items related to trench backfill were used in the month of June. Will show up on pay application 3. I don't have the exact numbers yet, but it's nothing crazy. We've actually ran into some bad material. It's not just wet, it's just the clay. Contractor shall be responsible for maintaining 1 set of red line record documents, which are to be reviewed for consistency at each progress meeting and submitted to the engineer at project completion. Record drawings are to be provided by a professionally registered engineer, licensed surveyor. Change orders, no additional work shall be performed without authorization from the owner. Any requests for time extensions must include adequate documentation. All right, any questions or comments? Austin, Robin, Johnny? Residents, go for it.
I have one, I'm really concerned about the water reading process. Last week, our tank collapsed.
Your septic tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last time it was dewatering, it was right behind our house. Right behind it, very close.
Yeah, I roughly know where you are then. Yep.
Okay, I'm just concerned. They pumped it out 3 times last Wednesday. Yeah. So where the water's coming from,
The last time they pumped it out, and they were pumping it out, I was looking in the tank, see the water running from the side of the tank back into the tank again. So any groundwater that's out there is gonna go right back in that tank.
The tank is still there, but it collapsed more.
There's a lot of holes.
So is there any way we could talk to somebody about showing where all of it is and
Yeah, what's the address?
34118 Central?
Yeah, yes, that's, so they're saying tank, the groundwater's coming into the tank. Which also
Yeah, I mean,
means
every time it rains.
sewage is going to happen in the tank.
Right. And,
Yeah, I mean, I went, when before I had them come in there, they had a pipe that went right through the tank to the house. And the water backed up all over the floor. And so I called management and said, what are you gonna do about it? It's your problem. So I ended up, I just put new floors in it and they destroyed all, had to put new floors back down. And so I had to put a T in now. And I have a cap on it. So when I looked at it about this far up on the top of the T. You know, where it flowed up to there, it's like 4 inches below the pipe to go into the house. It'll come out there first, but.
And it comes out like the green, there's a green thing next to
There's
where.
two caps on the tank.
Can we get people to talk in the mic?
Oh,
just because
yeah,
there's
so
people
sorry.
Listening in my office.
Sorry.
Here, so just.
Yeah.
So
If you guys, yeah,
if there are people on Zoom.
could you come up, so just briefly for anyone on Zoom, there seems to,
Sorry.
it seems like the issue is you guys think the tank is broken in some way and there's groundwater coming into that tank.
Right.
So Jonathan, you've been in contact with DNREC somewhat about some of this, yeah?
Correct, so I've been in. Who was all about it, yeah. Oh.
Correct. So I've been in contact with Derek Carruthers,
Yep.
and at the moment, I haven't received any complaints about backflow or anything. And so our point of contact is actually Derek Carruthers. He's the environmental engineer that's in charge of the notice of violation that was issued by DNREC in 2021. So if you can please voice your concerns, and I'll be in communication with Derek to see if he can be out there to see if there's anything on his end, since DNREC is the one managing the notice violation.
Okay.
About this tank. They've known about it for about a year and a half.
Yeah, we've had DNREC out several times and don't really know what.
I think part of the problem is there's very little they can do with the existing system. Which is
Right.
why,
We're just concerned about that, the word dewatering.
Right.
that If all that comes down, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, so.
Because they're not happy about coming out 3 times in 1 week to pump it out.
Right.
The dewatering is not gonna raise the groundwater level.
Okay,
Not in any significant manner. I guess I would have been more concerned if we were dewatering near the tank and pulling anything leaking out of the septic tank and then
Right.
discharging that into the creek. But I agree, we should probably stay as far away as possible. As in, not discharging directly near the tank. But Johnny's gonna look at that before they install the dewatering, so
okay,
that's good to know.
Very good.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
thank you.
Yep. Get that address. Okay. All right, anyone else?
Sharon, anybody?
All right, Jonathan,
No.
Dwayne,
Nothing.
Anne Marie. Okay, that is all I have then. The next meeting is August 2nd, 2023 at 10 a.m. right here. Thanks for coming.